BTS's Jungkook admits he's not ready for Jimin to get married. "I'm not ready to lose him." Crying face revolving hearts surprising news again came from the K-pop world, especially from two big names who have always managed to create armies around the world, BTS's Jungkook and Jimin. Recently, in an exclusive interview discussing Jungkook's personal views on love, commitment, and the future, the Standing Next to You singer honestly admitted that she's not ready if Jimin does get married someday. His seemingly spontaneous but meaningful speech immediately shook the internet and sparked a wave of incredible emotions among fans. It all started when the interviewer asked Jungkook about the life changes the BTS members went through after going through solo careers and facing maturity issues, including love and personal relationships. Jungkook, who is usually relaxed, suddenly seemed to think for a long time before answering. Slowly but firmly, he said, "I know life will go on, and we will all go our separate ways, but when it comes to Jimin Hyun, I'm not ready to see him get married or separated from the world we live in together. I'm not ready to lose him." Instantly, the atmosphere in the interview room became quiet. That sentence sounded so honest, almost like a confession that came out of the deepest heart of a Jungkook who had been known to be quiet and soft-hearted. The interview has not yet finished airing in its entirety, but snippets of his remarks leaked first to social media were enough to spark a huge stir. In a matter of hours, the hashtags #JungkookNotReady and #JungkookConfession immediately topped the world's trending topics. Many soldiers wrote Haru messages on social media. Jungkook's words are not just an ordinary confession. It was the voice of someone who really grew up together, who felt a deep bond with someone who was always there for her, one fan wrote on X, Twitter. Others said Jungkook's words felt like a message from a heart afraid of losing his home, someone he had been a part of for more than a decade. On the other hand, some Korean media also began to highlight the emotional meaning of Jungkook's statement. The article in Dispatch noted that the relationship between Jungkook and Jimin is not just a co-worker, but a brotherhood forged through time, mutual trust, and countless memories. The phrase "not ready to lose him" may sound simple, but it holds tremendous emotional depth, the report said. For Jungkook, Jimin was not just a group friend, but someone who made his life more meaningful. It didn't take long for Jimin to finally give his own response, and this is where the fans' emotions really peaked. In a short live broadcast on the Weverse platform, Jimin read some fan comments mentioning Jungkook's interview. He laughed a little, but then fell silent for a few seconds before saying softly, "She's always been like that, too honest to hide her feelings." The simple greeting was accompanied by a slight smile and a deep look in the eyes. While not explicitly replying to Jungkook's feelings, Jimin's way of responding felt meaningful. Army around the world immediately flooded the broadcast with thousands of comments. "Jimin knows the meaning of Jungkook's words," one fan wrote. And that reaction, it was not just overwhelming, but full of love and understanding that can't be explained. Meanwhile, various entertainment news platforms began to review the relationship between the two from the past to the present. Jungkook and Jimin have been known to have a unique closeness since their debut. They both went through tough times together, from hard training to tight schedules to the pressure of popularity. In many BTS documentaries, it can be seen how Jimin has always been a figure who calms Jungkook, while Jungkook often shows a protective side towards Jimin. One of the moments that went viral after this interview was when Jungkook once said during BTS Festa 2020, "If there wasn't Jimin Hyun, maybe I wouldn't be the person I am today." The remark is now considered to be the initial form of feelings that Jungkook again emphasized in his new interview. Many fans judge that the relationship of the two has evolved from a mere friendship to something deeper, something that goes beyond the usual labels and definitions. Foreign media also highlighted this phenomenon. Rolling Stone Asia wrote an article titled "Jungkook's Emotional Confession Shakes the Internet," in which they described Jungkook's remarks as one of the most honest and human moments of a global superstar. The article also highlights how BTS, despite being world icons, are still able to show their fragile and sincere side to the public. When Jungkook said he wasn't ready to lose Jimin, it wasn't just about love, it was about the fear of losing someone who made him feel at home. Amidst all this spotlight, HYB Entertainment has yet to give an official statement. However, some internal sources mentioned that the interview is actually part of a special documentary project that highlights the BTS members' emotional journey during the transition to a new chapter of their careers. If so, then this moment of Jungkook's confession could be one of the most emotional segments in the documentary. Nevertheless, the fans did not wait for an official explanation to express their feelings. On large fanbase forums such as Weverse, Reddit, and Twitter, thousands of ARMY shared messages about how deep the relationship between Jimin and Jungkook was. "This is not about romance per se," wrote one user. "It's about the connection of two souls who grew up together, understanding each other more than anyone." Shortly after the interview went viral, Jungkook shared a message on his personal fanbase platform. He wrote, "Sometimes I speak without thinking. But what I mean is not about loss, but rather about how much someone means to me in my life. You must have people like that too." The sentence seemed to calm the situation, but it made many people even more moved. Jungkook didn't mention Jimin's name directly, but everyone knew who the message was addressed to. Jimin, meanwhile, hit back at the Führer in a typical way. He posted a photo of camellias, flowers known as symbols of loyalty and eternal love, on his Instagram account with the simple caption, "To someone who is always there." There are not many words. The ARMY knows what they mean. In less than an hour, the post had reached millions of likes and thousands of comments, most of which included messages like, "We're crying again," and "You two really complement each other." Now, after all the excitement has subsided, this moment has become one of the most memorable memories of BTS's long journey. Jungkook, with his innocent honesty, and Jimin, with his gentle composure, again show the world that their bond is not something that can be made up. They grow together, support each other, and amid the glitter of an often harsh world, they remain each other, the anchor that holds them together to remain human. And perhaps, as one ARMY comment on Twitter put it, Jungkook is not ready to lose Jimin. But to be honest, we are not ready to see them walk a different path either. Because in the hearts of fans, Jungkook is not just two names, they are a story that teaches the sincere meaning of friendship, love, and the courage to stay true to feelings, even when the whole world is staring. Purple Heart in the end, the moment of Jungkook's confession about his feelings for Jimin became proof that the two's relationship was more than just being together on stage. It was a brotherhood that grew out of their trust, love, and the long time they spent together, from struggling training days to becoming world stars adored by millions. When Jungkook said he wasn't ready to lose Jimin, many realized that despite all the spotlight and popularity, the two were still human beings who needed each other, cared for each other, and understood each other without having to say a word. Jimin responded with his trademark calmness, asserting that no matter what happens, they will always be there for each other. Their relationship is now a mirror to ARMY's sense of true bonding, a connection that can't be measured by status, but felt through every look, support, and little moment they share. The world may change, time may pass, but Jimin and Jungkook have shown that there is something that never fades, the warmth that grows from a sincere heart. Purple Heart.